how we should go. All he said is, go and make disciples, of nations. So it's a blank check. You be as creative as you want, with how you want to go out and make disciples. And for me as a media person, digital media is one of the platforms that is beginning to create a huge space for evangelism and missions. So I'm here to raise digital missionaries and digital evangelists here this afternoon. But there are strategies, there are different methods, there are different tools, that one can use in reaching out via media, via social media, however you want to, platform you want to use. For social media, you have several platforms. You have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have LinkedIn, there's so many platforms. You have WhatsApp. We're all familiar with WhatsApp. And these are all platforms that you can develop strategies of reaching out to people. I have a friend who is on WhatsApp, and he sends out messages every day on WhatsApp. If you create a new group today and you add him to that group, you can be sure that tomorrow morning he's going to put his message on that too. But using those platforms, he's been able to reach out to millions and millions of people he may never ever come in contact with in his life. So as a church, as Christians, as evangelists, as missionaries, these are strategies that we can begin to adopt, in doing ministry, in doing evangelism. It's, for conservative people, they may not want to, I don't want to go close to social media. There is a lot of junk going on there. I don't want to contaminate myself. I don't want to contaminate my children. But there's a lot of junk going on outside on the street. And we can't say we're not doing evangelism because of what is going on the street. God has called us to do ministry. He has given us grace. And I also believe that for social and digital media, missionaries and evangelists is also a calling. If God has called you and said, look, I want you to adopt this strategy in doing ministry, he gives grace, in getting the work done. So please, let's be encouraged. I believe that a couple of us will begin to find strategies on how to use these tools, especially the young people in church. We spend a lot of time on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, spend so much time, wanting to know what the current trend is, what is happening. And before you know it, the whole day is gone. Or you spend 2 hours, 3 hours looking at pictures and looking at videos that do not add value to yourself. We can also spend that time in developing strategies in reaching out to others on these platforms. I was sitting here and I was checking on Twitter to see what today's trends are. So for our mommies and daddies, on Twitter, they have what they call trends. And the trends for the day is what at least 1,000 people are chatting or talking about that day. So if you see a topic trending, it means at least 1,000 people have been chatting about that topic in a day. And the only time I see at least 5 spiritual things trending are on Sundays. And it's because churches try to engage, online and all that. After Sunday, the rest of the week is football, it's all kinds of things happening, and you see, when you go through it and see what people are saying, no substance, no value, time wasted. So the church needs to begin to penetrate these spaces, understand the culture, because the truth is, all these platforms have cultures, have languages, understand how people reason, understand how they speak, and develop spiritual ways of reaching out to these people. Develop spiritual things that can trend, topics that can create discussions, that can create conversations. Some people do videos. On Instagram, you can put 60-second videos, talk about something in the Bible and just put it 60 seconds and see how it creates discussions. So these platforms primarily are set to create discussions. Somebody says something and then there's a whole trend of people saying all kinds of things, their opinions, about that issue, whether they understand it or not. So these are ways we can, penetrate these spaces, create topics, create engagements. People are discussing, people are saying things, about the Bible, about issues they don't understand. And all this is done, from the comfort of wherever you are. Nobody sees you, nobody knows who you are except you put all your information out there for people to see. So I want to encourage us. Let's get close to digital media and social media as a means of spreading the gospel. You reach out faster, you reach out farther, you reach out larger on those platforms. And to the young people, let's be creative with what we put out. And then your lifestyle, is also speaks, because you can't be person A today and then person B tomorrow on that same platform. You're not communicating any gospel message. When they see you on a platform that is talking about something that is totally ungodly, and then tomorrow you're on another platform, you're trying to talk about something godly. So our lifestyle on social media has to be the same. And there's a saying, they say social media never forgets. Because you might put something out there today, and in 5 years, you try to say something contrary to what you put out, somebody will bring back what you said 5 years ago. So we need to be careful about how we use these platforms. We need to be completely committed. If we are on these platforms to preach the gospel, let it be to preach the gospel. I mentioned a few strategies in my paper, but because of time, you can go through it, at your spare time and see how you can adopt and develop ways of doing these things. Another good way to do it is to do it in groups. You can have a social media group, and find time during the week or after service and say, okay, we're doing social media evangelism today. And we develop topics, we develop strategies by which we want to reach out to people, and then just create that buzz, start talking about things, and then before you know it, people start debating and questioning, and then that way you can begin to reach out to people. You single out those who you think are getting interested and need to be reached out, and you can begin to reach out to them privately. And because they don't see you, it's easy for them to respond. It's easy for you to say whatever I think, they need to hear about the gospel. Let this be a new strategy that the church will need to adopt in missions. Social media is about connecting. It's about connecting. It's about sharing. It's about talking. It's about meeting people. And then finally about inviting them. After you've gone through all that process of connecting and sharing and discussing, you want to eventually get to the point where we can invite them to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and take away the access that people like ISIS and all those other people are using to capture souls that need to be saved. It has become a competition for the kingdom of heaven, because these guys are steps ahead of us in grabbing people into their fold. And if we keep running away from social media, we're losing a huge part of souls that can be saved. So I would encourage us this afternoon, let's embrace digital media and social media. There are so many other tools that are used for evangelism. There's the mobile ministry that you can use devices to share the gospel, share audio Bible, share Jesus film with the people you are trying to reach. So evangelism is becoming easier. You may not know what to say, but you have something to show. You know, you may not be bold enough to face anybody, but you can stay in your room and be sending out your messages on all those platforms. We're on Twitter, we spend so much time chatting on WhatsApp, in groups and all that, and we're not making any impact. You know, those are avenues that we can use to reach out. And I would like to end with what Dr. Aldi said lastly, that the world is crying. And the truth is that the world is crying. People are looking for direction. People are looking for help. People are looking for hope. You know, and there are so many people on social media. There are times you go on these platforms and you read what people are saying, and people are talking about how they almost committed suicide. People are talking about how they are suffering from depression, because people say whatever they want to say on those platforms because you can't see them, you know, you don't know them. And when we see those kind of people, it's easy to just, you know, send them messages and begin to share the gospel of Jesus with them. You know, so let us encourage it, let us embrace it, and the Lord will give us grace in this ministry of the gospel. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much for being very brief and also for enlightening us about the use of the social media. Some people use social media in a negative way, but you as Christians use it positively to push the gospel, and God will bless you. Let's save that time that has already been set for us. Let's take the next item on the program. I mentioned it to you the other time that this church is able to do most of our mission work because of the strategies that the Lord has helped us to develop, and it has been very helpful, and that is age group. We want to take, we're okay, we're not standing up, we're not stretching our legs. All right. So I have the following groups that we're going to fall into. There's a group we call Baptist Senior Men. Baptist Senior Men are people from age 50 and above. So if you are within age 50 and above, please go to this side. You are about age 50 and above as men, please go to this side. Let people who are there transist from there. That angle there. If you are age 50 and above, that's where you are going to do your sharing. If you are age 50 and above, and you are a woman, go to this. I feel like sending our elderly women up to the gallery. Stretch your leg now, stretch your body. All right, if you say no, age 50 and above, women, be on that side, on that axis. They are used to the place. But you could have enjoyed upstairs better. Okay, please go to that side. And you have, for the Baptist Senior Men, you have Deacon Juma Otujare to be a facilitator in that place. If you are age 36 to 49. I want to encourage you to go upstairs now. Yeah, it's a large group. Let's go to the gallery, and the person who's going to lead us can see our eyes, our eyeball. It's going to be eyeball to eyeball discussion. It's an interactive section, so you can actually ask your question there. Age 36 and above, please let's go to the gallery. Yes. Those of us who are Baptist young men, go to the gallery and stay at this side of my right side of the gallery. Which other group is at large? Baptist men. If you are a Baptist man and you are within the age of 36 and 49, please come over here. Between the age of 36 and 49, please come to the choir stand here. Where are the Baptist women? They don't like their seats. Okay, they have gone upstairs. The Lydia. The Baptist senior women will be led by Deaconess Norma Alofoje. They are upstairs. They're in the gallery. The Sunbeam, they are in their class there, and let their facilitator meet them there. The GA, I concede the angle of the GA to them there. You are going to meet with Mrs. Lupeju there, or the GA. Baptist young women, please come to the middle aisle here. Baptist young women. The Baptist young women are people from age 26 to 35. Age 36 to 35. The array. I want to give you an open space where nobody will disturb you. Right in front of the no. Baptist young women, where are they? 26, age 26 to 35. Young women. Learn something from there that you will take back to your church. Learn something from there that you will take to lead your group more effectively. The leader will take their seats on my right hand here. The leader, that's 17, age 17 to 25 to 26. Where are they? Age 17 to 25, yes. Some people have not started. Some people have not even gotten a place. So let those who have gotten a place relax a little until we have allocated all everybody. The leader. Please, let's try to minimize our noise so that people can hear when we are talking. Since I have this big space open, can I have all the, where are the arrays? Arrays, please, can you come down to the media area, media cubic? By the side of the media cubicle, please, can we sit down there? The arrays. You are going to be led by Deacon Afigi. Wherever is standing, please stand with him. I wonder which group I have not mentioned. Okay. So, your time to start begin now, and you have 40 minutes, because I know people would like to ask questions and we want to do things right. 40 minutes. Meaning that you are going to stop at 2:20. Please listen attentively. Write down your question, or you continue to ask. You can pause your leader, your facilitator, as you go along where you are confused. Oh, they didn't tell me we will not be around, but I think we could get. Where is the MMB president? Brother Bayomi? Oh, who is the leader? Yes. I think Deacon Olajima is leading that group. Who is leading this group? Eh? Two of you are surplus.